Oke. Nah, sekarang kita akan mulai dari salah satu pembicara kita, yaitu Kak Daffa dan Thoriq, yang sekarang bekerja sebagai Frontend engineer di Perkenalan. Oke, seperti apa biasanya kita perkenalkan dulu ya.
Halo Net, halo teman-teman. Uh, Thank you udah join sesi malam ini. Kenalin nama aku Daffa Badran Thoriq. Aku software engineer di tiket.com. Teman-teman bisa panggil aku Daffa. Jadi hari ini aku bakal sharing ke teman-teman. Kita sharing kayak open discussion aja. Jadi nggak perlu yang terlalu kayak sharing kayak gimana-gimana banget. Jadi lebih ke kayak sharing tukar pendapat aja nih mengenai si front end opportunity ini sendiri gitu loh. Sebenarnya kita tadi plannya mau start pakai English ya Net. Tapi aku balikin ke teman-teman lagi gimana apakah lebih prefer pakai bahasa Indonesia aja atau teman-teman lebih prefer pakai bahasa Inggris. Aku nggak ada masalah sih sama Net. Tapi kalau teman-teman lebih prefer pakai bahasa Inggris atau bahasa Indonesia bisa menyesuaikan gitu. Dari Mas Irianto, Mas Wahyu sama Mas Wisnu mungkin ada preferensi, boleh di chat gitu. By the way, suaraku kedengaran kan teman-teman? Oh iya, oke. Terima kasih Mas. Oke, sip. Kalau boleh tahu nih, Mas Wahyu, Mas Irianto, Mas Wisnu, sama Kak Kirana, ini background-nya dari IT juga kah teman-teman? Atau teman-teman masih pada kuliah? Atau udah ada yang udah masuk ke industri IT juga atau kayak gimana teman-teman? Sebelum kita lanjut ke sesi nih, jadi aku nanti bisa menyesuaikan materinya nggak sesuai sama background-nya teman-teman sendiri ya. Apakah teman-teman emang udah familiar sama si front-end ini sendiri atau mungkin teman-teman baru dengar bahkan front-end itu apa. Santai aja guys, kalau misalkan mau on cam aja. Kita kayak open discussion aja sambil ngobrol-ngobrol gitu. Mungkin Mas Wahyu kali ya. Mas Wahyu dari udah masih kuliah kah atau kayak gimana Mas Wahyu kalau saat ini? Boleh on mic aja Mas Wahyu. Halo, selamat malam Mas Wahyu. Suaranya agak berdengung Mas Wahyu. Boleh ini nggak apa namanya suaranya agak kurang jelas. Masih sama. Mungkin kalau misalkan agak berhalangan dari chat juga nggak apa-apa Mas. Oke, sambil nunggu yang lain karena emang dari bahasa senyamannya aja. Karena teman-teman oke juga buat English. Jadi kalau dari Net gimana Net? Kita mau pakai bahasa Inggris aja kah atau kayak gimana? Oke, sip. Oke, guys. So we'll start with English ya. Just we will do a very simple sharing session actually. So no need to like you guys see me as someone that know front end better or know full stack better or know this field better. No, I mean like we try to discuss together here, like open discussion. If you guys want to ask me something, or you guys want to discuss something with me, or you guys want to have a suggestion with me, it's totally okay, it's totally fine. So I'm trying to like open this session today. So okay, let me share my screen first before we go into the session. Is my screen visible, guys, to you? Hopefully visible then, yeah. If not visible, then you guys maybe can say something, or just raise your hand. How about the ini net, the the record already good ya, udah aman ya? Oke, sip. Sip, okay. So guys, thank you. Maybe some of you guys just join this session today. From us, from Fidemi, me and Nat, we try to build this community together to have like an open source community. I mean, like before we jump into the material itself, let us try to introduce this community first, so that maybe after this session, you guys can join us also, maybe as a mentor also, if you guys want to share about your experience, or you guys want to join as a student or as a mentee, it's totally fine. So basically the Fidemi is like a new community, IT community, with our goals to like provide all the information regarding IT, not only in web development, but also like in apps development or other things as well related to IT, that maybe most of them we get from bootcamp. It is paid, and you guys need to pay some money before you guys can get the materials. But here we try to provide you guys a fully free access. Yeah, so I mean like we also can learn from here without maybe not spending too much money, or not spending any money. You guys can also discuss together with the others as well inside the Fidemi, regarding the your project, or something that maybe you feel like you have a blocker in apps development or in web development. You guys can share your thoughts inside our Discord. So basically we are using Discord, we are Discord based. So maybe after this session, me and Nat will share you the QR or the link itself to the Discord, and you guys maybe can join our community from there, yeah. Okay, maybe that's all for the short introduction regarding the Fidemi itself. So let's us try to go into this session today. Basically, I will not use this slide the whole session. So I'm just using this for reference only. So okay. So the title is Tips and Trick Berkarir di Dunia Frontend 2025, which is I'm trying to share from my perspective and from my experience also regarding of this IT field, that maybe many of us try to learn this because we have a lot of opportunity in front end. But okay, let's jump in. Before getting start into the material itself, let me introduce myself first, so that maybe we can know each other after this. So about me, as simple as career experience, I was graduated in 2022 from Universitas Sriwijaya. I'm from Palembang, and ticket.com was my first professional experience until now. So I'm a software engineer, which is main focus in front end from 2022. During working at Tika.com, I'm also taking part as a web development bootcamp in the Bimbing. It's also start from 2025 until now. And then I am also taking part as a lead software engineer as a full stack AI in Jet Studio, which based in Canada. It start from 2025 also until now. So these three jobs I did right now, together with Fidemi also. So yeah, that's my current career experience. And before that, I'm also having a software engineer experience as well in Gelis Indonesia as a full stack also, but it's already done from 2022 until February 2022 until May 2022. So this is like a short career experience from me. I'm also still new in IT field, which is only like 3 years from 2022 until now. Yeah. So yeah, this is a short introduction from me. Maybe after this we can connect together also in LinkedIn, or you guys want to connect with me in WhatsApp, in Instagram, or in Discord also, and you guys want to share something, or you guys want to discuss something, it's totally okay, yeah, guys. No need to like feeling like scared, or yeah, don't ever hesitate to reach me out, yeah, if you guys want to share or discuss about something else regarding IT or non-IT. It's totally fine. Okay. So yeah, maybe before we jump in into what is the front end roadmap, or how to be a better front end engineer in 2025. Maybe some of you guys not coming from the IT field, like or some of you guys still new in IT, or just join a campus or university, and this is your first semester and you guys haven't heard about front end or back end. So what is this front end? What is this back end things? So I'm taking like a simple analogy. So I usually using this outside Fidemi. Also, I'm using this at other mentoring session as well. Whenever I try to explain the student about what is the front end, what is back end, I'm always using this kind of analogy. So like we are using analogy as a restaurant. So let's take an example of our web is a restaurant, or we can say web is like Instagram web, so or WhatsApp web. It is like a restaurant where usually inside the restaurant we will divide it into three parts. The first one is regarding the decoration itself from the restaurant, and then the second one is regarding the waitress or the menu, and then the third one is regarding the chef or the kitchen. So this kind of analogy is describing a whole of a web application, which is inside of this. It is also having like front end and back end in this part. So what is front end did here, and what is the back end things here? So whenever we talk about front end, so if you guys know about front end, which mean the front part, it is like the main focus is on the what user or what people when they go to the restaurant, or the customer when they go to the restaurant itself, what they try to see in the restaurant itself. How good is the decoration, or how beautiful is this restaurant, regardless the menu, or how the food will be tasted. Yeah, I mean like whenever you try to go to a restaurant, you will see like, okay, the decoration is really good, or the chair is really cozy or comfortable, or the table is also very very clean or tidy. I mean like it's very good from the customer eyes. This is before they try to order something, or they try to eat something. This is the first impression when the customer going to a restaurant. And it's really important because if you guys try to go to a restaurant maybe, and you guys want to spend a lot of money inside the restaurant, at least you guys need to have a better experience like inside that restaurant. You guys need to have a good decoration, or you guys to expect that the lighting is very good, or the chair or the table is also very cozy. That's what you guys try to expect whenever you guys to go to the restaurant. I mean like it's kind of weird if you guys want to go to a restaurant that the ambience is not really good, or it's really dirty. It's kind of not something that we try to find whenever we go to a restaurant, right? So that's the front end part. In generally, that's what front end part. So what front end part here is most likely like what parts or of that restaurant that user will see first, and what part of that restaurant that user will feel when they go to the restaurant. So it's like using like their eyes, what they will see, or their yeah, whatever things that they try to see at first. And then we go to the waitress. So what is the waitress do here? Normally when you go to the restaurant, what waitress will do is they try to give you a menu. They will ask you what things that you want to order here, and they will give a lot of list, right, of the food or drink that you guys can try to order. So here is whenever you guys try to order something, it's like back from front end and back end that I said earlier. It is connected. Backend is like the third one. It is the kitchen one. So maybe before we go to the waitress, let's go to the backend part first. Yeah. So if we already talk about front end, is like the first impression when the user or when the customer go to a restaurant. The backend part is um, the kitchen itself. So the kitchen itself, it's not um, visible to the user. If you guys to ever go to a restaurant that may be really fancy, or a restaurant that may be inside a hotel, normally they will not see an open kitchen. So the kitchen will be separated between the user or the customer and the kitchen, because maybe they want to make us feel like the decoration is still really good, right? Because if you guys see the kitchen, that maybe you will see like a lot of fire there, or you will see a lot of mess inside the kitchen, and they try to prevent it. That's why they separate it between the front end and the back end, or the main part of the restaurant, which has a very good ambience, and the kitchen. Normally it will be separated. So backend part is never visible to the user, or never visible directly to the user. So the user cannot like directly see from the backend part. So the inside the kitchen, the chef will cook. The chef will check everything from their refrigerator or from their storage. They will see it, but the user, they will not see anything. Right? So this is the different part between the front end and the back end. Both of them are connected or working together or collaborate together to create a better website or a better restaurant. So if you guys want to go to a restaurant, a perfect restaurant, it's not only having a very good decoration, but also a very good food also. So these two need to combine each other, or this two need to collaborate to each other. If you guys to go to the restaurant and pay a lot of money, maybe the decoration is very good, but the food is not that good, or the food is really not good. Maybe you guys will still feel like, why I need to spend this a lot of money, and you guys don't want to go back to this restaurant because maybe the food is not good. Or we can also reverse it. When you guys to go to a restaurant, the food is very good, but you guys need to pay a lot of money for a restaurant that doesn't have a very good like a decoration, or the lighting is not very good, or it is not photogenic. Yeah, it is the same result. Maybe you guys will not go back to the restaurant again, because why I need to pay a lot of money, but I'm not getting a perfect ambience or perfect experience based on what money that I pay for. Maybe you guys will spend one food for maybe 200 rupiah, 200,000 or 300,000 rupiah, and maybe you guys not feeling really happy, then maybe you guys will not go back to the restaurant again. So this front end and this back end need to work to each other. These two need to combine to each other. So what is the connector between front end and back end, which is the waiters, the middle one, or maybe most of us call it as an API. So what the waiters do here, it will connect between the decoration and the chef, right? It is in general. So once the user once the customer already feel very good about the environment or ambience from their eyes, they will see all the menu. And after they see the menu and they will feel like, okay, this menu is very good, then they will try to order it. And from the order, this waitress will go to the kitchen, tell the chef that, okay, this customer want to order a fried rice maybe. Then what the backend will do? The backend, yeah, they will before they cook, they will definitely they will check from their refrigerator first, or they will check from their storage first whether this fried rice ingredient is available or not. If you guys coming from IT background, whenever the chef is checking the refrigerator or the storage, it is like they are searching from their database whether the ingredients or the data is there or not. If it is there, then the fried rice is not is able to be cooked, right? If this is so, then what the chef will do, the chef will cook it. After the chef cook, see the arrow here, after the chef cook, they will go back to the waitress, and then the same waiters or the different waiters, they will go back to the customer. So what these waiters do, this will connect between the front end and the back end. And maybe normally we call it as an API. So front end will focus on what user will see, and the back end will focus on the data or on the food that the customer order. And this waitress or this API will connect the request and the response. So this API will did that. The request that coming from the customer as an order, and then the response that being given by the backend or the chef as the food, the result, yeah, this is will be conducted by the waitress or by the API itself. So this is the analogy regarding the web development. Maybe if you guys already coming from an IT background, then I guess you guys already know about this. But maybe if you guys still new or just heard about front end or just heard about back end, then yeah, maybe this is about the analogy. Okay. So between the front end and the back end, we need to connect it. And to connect it, we need a connector, which is the waiters, or normally we call as an API. What this API will do? Maybe we can make it very simple. What this API will do? API will accept a request and then will return the response. Okay, so it will accept the request that coming from the customer, which is on the left side, and then they will give it to the chef, which is the backend. So this is what customer is requesting for, the food that customer being request. And then after the chef, okay, the ingredients is available, and then we will try to cook it. Then what chef will do? Chef will give the response to the API, and then API will again give the response or transfer the response back to the front end. This is not always be success. API not always success. Because have you ever go to a restaurant and then maybe you try to order a food and somehow the waitress tell you that the food is out of stock or it is like sold out? Yeah, this is also coming from backend. If, for example, the customer is requesting a pasta, the waiters doesn't know that whether this food is available or not, right? So what these waiters will do, it will transfer all the requests from to the chef backend, and the chef will check from the storage whether the ingredient is available or not to make a pasta. Okay, at this time, the ingredient is not there or not available. So what backend will do? Backend cannot, the chef cannot cook anything, right? The chef cannot cook the pasta. So what chef will do? Chef will tell the waitress that, okay, we don't have the ingredient. Tell the customer that it is sold out and ask them again whether they want to order any other food or maybe any other drink. So the API will tell the front end again or the customer again that the food is not there. So or the food is sold out. Maybe you guys can try to order other thing.
That's what connect between the front end and the back end. If success, then it is also will transfer between the API, and if it is fail or it is not success, it will also being transferred from the API. So this is the analogy of the front end and also the back end and the connector between them to create a very perfect restaurant or a very perfect website, if we are talking about the website. If we are talking about front-end development, here I already summarized a little bit about front-end development. So front-end development is a development phase or creation of an interface, web or apps, whatever things that user see or directly experience whenever they try to open a website or they try to open a web app. It is coming from the front end part. For example, when we try to open, normally we will use a WhatsApp web, right? If we are using a laptop. So when we go to a WhatsApp web, you guys will see all the lists of the recent chat that you guys have, maybe from your family or maybe from your partner, maybe from your friends or whatever. Whatever that you guys can see, it is coming from front end. And then whatever that you guys can click or can scroll, it is also coming from front end. So the front end part is really important to what user will experience and will see whenever they accessing a website or apps. So if I can see like the main focus, maybe it is will be focused on the UI and UX parts, and it's also will work with some kind of languages between them called maybe HTML, JavaScript, and also CSS. Some of you guys maybe already know about them. Three of them. This is like a powerful languages that maybe they are combined to each other to create a front end part. And then they will also collaborate with backend. If you guys see the image here, they will collaborate with backend to through an API, because the front end doesn't know about the data. From the front end part, we only can create a static UI or static design maybe. But if we want to have a dynamic one, a dynamic sentence or a dynamic content, then maybe we need to have a collaboration with backend during which using this API, which is I already told you before that the API is a connector between front end and backend, which accept a request and return a response. Then it's also like it's understand the design part. So maybe if you guys ever work with the design team, or if you guys that maybe already jump into the IT industry that focusing on a web development, you guys will always having a discussion between front end, between back end, and between the design team to make sure that from front end they will develop a better design that makes sense from front end perspective, because maybe you guys ever see a meme or a jokes that maybe a designer will create a really crazy design, but it is a very great design, and from the eye's perspective, from our eye, it will be very good, but from our tech stack or from our performance website, it will be not really good, because you guys need to know whenever we try to create an UI from front end part, even though it is like a UI only or animation only or transition only, we need to consider also about the smartphone or about the laptop that's still using a very old system, or maybe we normally call it as kentang, maybe it's like we need to understand that not all people will use a high-end devices. Maybe some of them will use like a middle devices or low-end devices, and we need to consider about that also. if we are creating very great design with a very great animation also, then maybe a high-end device will don't have any issue. But how about the middle-end device or low-end device? They will have, or they will suffer a very laggy experience when they accessing our website. So that's why from front-end team, if you guys want to be a front-end developer, you guys need to consider about this also. Not only like whenever we try to create a UI, or whenever we try to create an animation, we will give the best animation that we can create. Yeah, it is one of our goals also to create a better UI, yeah. But we need to consider about the UX part as well, because not all user will use the high-end device for this. And a simple thing about the backend, maybe we will not really dig deeper to the backend part on this session, maybe on the other section with me maybe, or with the other mentor about the backend part. But yeah, as what I can say about the backend part is the development also same. But if we are talking about front end is very visible to the user. So if the user try to open a website, they will see what things that being created by the front end developer. But from the backend development or backend developer, they will not very visible to the user. So they will work behind the scene. They will support the website or the web app or the application from the backbone, or the user cannot see it directly. So they will it is called as a server side, because on the server side, yeah, user cannot see anything lah. The data is coming from the database, and the user cannot see the database. So what user can see, yeah, only the UI and then the section that maybe is visible from their eyes only. But the backend development, they will work from the server side, and it is involves like a logic, a database, and a backend development or a backend developer need to create a very great infrastructure or architecture also to run the web server and client effectively. Why? Because when we talk about a very large scale of a website or a web app, which includes or involves backend, front end, and the API, if only front end did it better, then the UI will be good. But if the backend team is not doing well here, even though we have a very great UI or a very great animation or a very great transition, even though we have a very animatic website, if the backend part is not working well, then the website will feel still laggy, because the data is coming from the, if the data that coming from backend is very slow, then the user will expect the website is also very slow. So if you guys ever open a website that whenever it try to loading is very long, it takes a long time to load, yeah, it's also can coming from the backend part. Yeah, maybe it's also can coming from front end because of the very complex animation, but normally it is coming from backend. Why? Because when you guys try to open that website, what it does behind the scene that maybe from us as a user we don't know, is the backend part will try to serve all the data. Because like I mentioned earlier, the API it will accept the request that coming from front end and will return all the data that coming from the backend. If the data that being returned by backend is taking long time to return the data, then we cannot see anything inside the website. And the impact is, yeah, we will see a lot. We will see a very long loading there. So backend team need to have a very clear and very great infrastructure and also architecture to create and support the website as well. Yeah, most of the time they will do it a web infrastructure. They will also focus on the database management, because they will get the data, they will manage the data, remove and maybe search the data also from the database. Maybe have you guys maybe know about SQL about NoSQL, also MongoDB and other database that may be very popular right now and being used in many kind of companies to support their database. And then they will also doing an API management. So API management is mostly created by the backend team. When we want to have an API, because this API is a connector between the front end and the back end, but the real API is being created by backend normally, and the front end will using that API that already being created by backend to get the data from them. So for the API itself, normally it's being created by backend. Yeah, it's not being independently created outside backend and front end. No, it is created by the backend team. And then what front end will do? Yeah, front end will request to the API that already being created by them. If the request is valid, then backend will return the data that coming from the API, the database. Okay, so this is a simple things about the front end and back end before we go to the roadmap itself. So maybe it can add a new knowledge or a new things to you guys if you haven't heard about front end and back end previously. So basically, when we are accessing a web application or a website, it's a very complex thing that runs behind the scene. From the front end, from the back end, and also from the API. And then inside the back end, you guys need to know that we have a database, or we also have an infrastructure whenever we try to deploy our code from backend part. Then yeah, it will have another part in backend called infrastructure. So it's a very complex things, not only from front end but also from back end, because the website is a combination between them. If all of them is working correctly, then we can expect that website will be a very perfect website. Okay, that's all. If the front end is working not well but the back end is working well, then yeah, we cannot expect that it is a great website, maybe because the animation is not really good or the UI is not really good, and vice versa. So both of them need to combine or collab correctly. Gitu maybe guys for the front end and back end. Yeah, maybe if you guys have a question, then as simple as just raise your hand. No worries. Maybe we can pause the session if you guys have something need to ask, to make sure that okay, everything is clear before we go to the roadmap. Because if roadmap but the front end itself, maybe it's not taking too long time, because the long time is I need to explain a bit about the front end, back end, and also the analogy. If you guys have a question, maybe just feel free to say something, to open your mic or to chat, or just raise your hand. It's totally okay. Yeah, maybe I'll give like 30 seconds or 1 minute if you guys have a question. Okay. All good. Maybe from who joining here, from Mas Irianto maybe, or Kak Kirana, Mas Wahyu, and Mas Wisnu, is it everything is clear, or Kak Fania also, or you guys have something to ask? If I talk too fast, just tell me, guys. Sorry. If all good, maybe you guys can give a thumbs up reaction, so that I know that it's still good, yeah, until now. Okay, thanks, Nat. Okay, maybe since we have some limited time for now, I'll still will pause the session if you guys want to raise your hand, but let me try to continue with the session first. If for now no one asking about the question, so that the session will not take too long time. If you guys quite clearly understand about the explanation before, yeah. So okay, we'll go to the roadmap. Basically, this roadmap, I get it also coming from the other website or the other community, which is Dev2, because I think the roadmap is pretty similar, time by time, year by year, but maybe the scope that what we need to adjust right now, as a front end or as someone that want to be a front end in the future, this is what we need to do. So yeah, here I'm creating these two things here. The right side is the basic roadmap that you guys need to know or to learn before you guys can go to a front end job or front end engineer development role. But I think this is not as strict as this, but you guys can use this as reference. Normally we will use a roadmap as sh here, as a basis of our roadmap before we go to be a front end engineer, yeah. So if I can see here, yeah, it's always like this every year. There's no changes here, guys, because they always serve us the basic things that we need to learn before we can jump into the role itself. So we need to understand about what is the internet, HTTP, what is the domain, because whenever we try to access a website, it is not as simple as, okay, this is the link. No, you guys need to know that this is an HTTPS request. What is the HTTP? Why we are using HTTPS here? Why we are not using HTTP only? Because if we are using HTTPS, it is like the secure one of the HTTP. That's why they are using S here in the very end of the word here. Yeah, they are using S. S refers to secure. And then we also have a domain name, which is here. Roadmap.sh is a domain name. And then what is the hosting? What is DNS? Yeah, you guys can refer to this website. And this is pretty similar year by year. So after we know about the internet, we can jump into the HTML and CSS. What is HTML? What is CSS? As you for your information, guys, these three is the what is this? The core part or the main part of front end. If you guys already master these three, I think you guys can go to the job itself, yeah. Because this combination of these three different language can create a very powerful website actually. HTML and CSS is not a programming language. Don't get it wrong. So HTML is refers to like a markup language, which normally we always see this whenever we try to create an UI. And CSS is not also a programming language, but it is a style sheet language, which is being used to like styling our UI. Whenever we try to make it like this, we have a green background or we have a black color here. Yeah, we are using CSS. Or we want to have like a purple background here, we also using CSS. And then we go to JavaScript. JavaScript is the brain of the front end part, which is it is the programming language. And JavaScript is very powerful in web development, especially. Yeah, if you guys want to focus on web development, you guys need to understand about JavaScript very well, because with only JavaScript, actually, you guys can already cover the front end and back end part. So you guys don't need a different language. You guys need to have a single knowledge of JavaScript, and you guys already can cover the front end and back end part, because since JavaScript is very powerful, JavaScript can handle both, can handle the front end and can handle the back end. So with one single language only. So we don't need to switch the language between front end and switch the other language to be back end. So we can use one single language. And then we can go to version control, which is Git, GitHub, and GitLab. This is for the collaboration between every programmer that it is commonly used. Even you guys not enter the industry or not enter the company that using IT development or IT product, you guys will still already use this version control. Maybe from your college experience, you already use this version control, such as Git, GitHub, and GitLab. And then you guys will go to package manager and etc. Then this is the main part. After you guys understand about the JavaScript only, you guys can go to the framework. Framework is if you think about the JavaScript is very powerful, then the framework is more powerful than JavaScript. But it is not replacing the JavaScript. It is like a variant of a JavaScript that have their own power. For example, like this React, Vue, Angular, Svelte, and Solid.js. This is for front end. This is the basic is still coming from the JavaScript, but they create React, Vue, Angular, and etc. here as a framework. They already wrap it with a lot of powerful functionality that is not there in JavaScript only. That's why they create the framework, which still using JavaScript as their main or their basic structure. And then etc. like the web API, the web security, and etc. This SSR deployment and etc. So if you guys want to see like a roadmap, you guys can refer to this from front end development. So this roadmap, I don't think it always change majorly, because they will still maintain the basic part of the front end development roadmap itself. Okay, so this you guys can see, and whenever you click this, you guys will get the documentation or the resource where you guys can know what is the Elephanty or 18Y and etc. and like the design system as well. This is a very very complete roadmap, and I always using this until now, if maybe I want to learn a new things about the front end itself. But if we want to know about what happening in front end right now, we can go to this dev2. Basically this dev2 is it's like a blog. If you guys ever go to like a Medium, we have a dev2 also, where all the people that maybe already there in IT or they want to share about their thoughts inside this blog, they can share it. And this guy is sharing about the ultimate front end development developer roadmap for 2025, which is already get a lot of positive result or positive reaction from the others as well. So what we need to do, like I mentioned earlier, we need to master the foundation, because the front end development is using these three: JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. You guys need to understand about these three. If these three you guys already understand about it, then you guys already master the foundation, and you guys can create a very dynamic website. If you guys understand about HTML and CSS only, you guys already can create a website, but it is not dynamic. It is still static. What I mean static here is I think I have something here that I can share to you guys. Do I have it? I think this one I'm only using. I'm not using JavaScript. It actually is here. Wait, can I open this? So here, I ever create this before when I learned about HTML and CSS. This is only using pure HTML, CSS, where I'm not using JavaScript. What I mean by the static one is like we only can create this, but we cannot interact with anything. So whenever we try to create the download app, or we click here, or we click here, click here, click here, and wherever we want to click, then it will not do anything. So if you guys know about HTML and CSS, actually you guys can already create a very great website. Actually, you guys already can create a very cool website also, but it is static. Static means like this, yeah. From the UI perspective is already good, but if we are trying to click, or we are to click here, we cannot do anything, because it needs JavaScript as their brain. Okay, so you guys need to master the foundation for this. And then, yeah, we need to understand about the core front-end development skills. Yeah, this guy already share everything regarding the version control. Please, if you guys never use Git or GitHub, you guys need to try to use this. At least no need to create a very great or good website. No need. We can just create a dummy one and learn how this version control works using Git and GitHub or GitLab. So it can collaborate between us and the other programmer around the world. And we also, why it called as version control, because if we do something and maybe we make a mistake, then we can undo it. So it is pretty similar like when you guys using Google Docs or you guys using Microsoft Word. You guys ever like typing something and maybe you guys want to undo it, then version control can also do the same thing, but from code perspective, yeah. So you guys have done the changes, or you guys have create a lot of code and save it with this version, you guys can revert it into the previous version. That's what Git and that's what the version control did, and it's very powerful. Okay, then we can go to CSS framework. Actually, CSS framework is same like the JavaScript framework. It is like basically it's still using CSS, but it's already wrapped with a lot of functionality into a framework. When I was in college, the popular one was Bootstrap, but right now it's already using Tailwind CSS. Basically, it is kind of optional, yeah. Even without using Tailwind CSS, also you guys can create a very good styling, but maybe with more effort, yeah. Okay, we will continue with the dev too. So this is the roadmap that you guys need to understand about the front end skills and front end developer. Basically, it's kind of still same. It's still using like JavaScript framework or CSS framework. This is the JavaScript framework that normally being used and being required by many of the company that maybe they are opening their job role as a front-end engineer, that you guys need to try to at least understand or mastering one of the framework. You guys no need to understand about everything, because we have a lot of JavaScript framework, right? Like React.js. Basically, the main framework in JavaScript is React.js, Angular, and Vue. We have three. Yeah, we have Svelte also, but Svelte not really that popular. So we can take three here: React, Angular, and Vue. What I recommend to you guys here is React. Why React? React is more mature first, and then the second one, the popularity. React is very popular if you guys comparing between Angular and Vue. And from what I see from the market, from the job market, most of the company are looking for a developer that understand React better. If they are looking for a developer that maybe they are seeking for a developer that understand about Angular, they are still okay with someone that understand React, which means that if we understand about React, we have a plus point here. And then the community, if you guys feel something blocking you guys, or you guys have a confusion about the React.js itself, then the community is very huge. The community is very large right now. That's why I always recommend my mentee, my students, and you guys also to use React.js. if you guys start to go to JavaScript framework. And then what, after you guys go to React.js, we have Next.js. Next.js is basically a new one, a new framework. What is the difference between React.js and Next.js? Next.js is wrapped by React. So I'm not saying that Next.js is a React.js framework, but it is more powerful than React.js. Yeah, it is created under the hood. It is also using React, but it add another functionality that make it more powerful than React.js. So this is the one that being considered as a JavaScript most popular framework that being used in the market. Yeah. So if you guys want to follow my path, yeah, I'm starting with the React.js, and right now I'm in Next.js. So these two is the most powerful and strongest one. But if you guys have a preference to maybe want to learn about Angular or want to master about Vue, it is totally okay. This is if we already go to like a JavaScript framework, it means like we already coming from the preference. But what I'm learning and my path is these two. I'm not joining the Angular and Vue. But if I ever get a project that using a Vue.js, yeah, even though the structure is kind of different, but again, since this is a JavaScript framework, which is like using JavaScript as the baseline, then the code is not really different. Yeah, maybe the syntax itself is different. And then yeah, the state management I think is quite advanced right now. If you guys maybe already go to like JavaScript framework, then maybe you guys will understand about the state management like Redux, Toolkit, Zooston, or React Context API. So basically, this is kind of more advanced skills that you guys can understand after you understand about the master of the foundation. Yeah, the third one is this. So maybe this is what makes it different, this dev2 and this roadmap. Because right now, guys, AI development or AI evolution is very fast, and we cannot like blocking it, or we cannot wait or delay it, because every day, every minute, every second, something different will or something new will be created. And yeah, AI is like try to change the whole game. In Frontend itself, maybe before we know about AI, I already joined Ticket maybe before like the AI evolution is that much like right now. So maybe at that time the requirement of the job is not as strict as right now. Yeah. Because right now, if you try to find a job as a front-end engineer, you guys need to also require to understand about the AI also. Right now, we have like a lot of AI coding assistant like GitHub Copilot, ChatGPT. We also have a Cursor right now also. So what is the AI coding assistant here is like you guys need to understand how to create a code, and we are using like a ChatGPT. We need to have a help from ChatGPT to create a code. So what is the purpose here is like from developer. We try to utilize these AI things to make sure that our development getting faster, getting better, and we have to create a better prompt as well. So when you guys creating something or asking something from ChatGPT, you guys normally will ask them, like will try to type something, and then they will return the answer to us. Yeah, it's calling a prompt. So in code, if we have a better prompt, it will result a better better outcome or better result, better output. But if we prompt them in wrong way, then they will also return the false result. So right now, yeah, we need to understand about how to utilize AI also, because previously, like whenever we try to create a testing code, yeah, we will spend a lot of time, like 3 days, 4 days to create a unit test. But right now with AI, we can create it between 1 hour only. So that's makes AI very powerful. And AI with the power of AI, we need to utilize it as a developer. We cannot like I'm not saying like we cannot beat it, but too idealist that maybe some of the developers are really hate AI and don't want to use AI. I don't think it's a good idea for now, because we cannot like beat them. Yet what we can do right now, we need to utilize them and make them better, and utilize them to make our job or our task getting complete better also. So rather than we try to beat the AI, we need to utilize it to produce a better outcome or output. So this is AI things. This what makes the challenge to have a job right now in 2025, 2026, 2027, and etc. is getting more difficult than before. So because we have a lot of AI, then we need to utilize the AI as well, like AI coding assistant, AI design tools, AI API and testing tools. Most of them will be like a requirement for the developer to understand how to utilize them. If you guys can utilize the AI to produce a better result for the testing or the coding assistant, then yeah, it will be a plus point for you guys. But if you guys never use it, then maybe you guys can try to learn about it. This is about the AI things. Yeah, and then we can go to advanced front end concept. After you guys try to learn about the master of the foundation and then about the JavaScript framework, we can go to the front end concept. Like for example, TypeScript. TypeScript is a JavaScript with a safer code or safer structure. So whenever we are using JavaScript, it's not as secure as the TypeScript. And the TypeScript is like the syntax is not different from the JavaScript, but it use another additional syntax that makes the code more safe. And if I see from the market right now, TypeScript is mostly being required, same like React. If we only know about JavaScript and we don't know about the TypeScript, it will be kind of hard for us. So what I can say here is I'm not making I'm not scaring you guys. I'm telling the truth right now. So maybe you guys can start also to check about the TypeScript documentation, what make it differ between the TypeScript and JavaScript. Yeah, this is the power of TypeScript. And then the testing framework also, like whenever we create a code and we already complete our development, we still need to create our testing. Like I mentioned earlier, using AI, we can do it for 1 hour only, but without AI, we can do it for like 3 or 4 days. So yeah, we need to utilize the AI better for this testing framework. And then the for performance optimization, this is also because if we complete a website or we complete building a UI, yeah, maybe when we try to run it, yeah, it works normally. But we need to optimize the performance of our website also. Whenever you try to land a job to our company, yeah, they will ask it about how you guys can optimize the performance of our website. So the task is not only to create the UI, but after you guys create the UI, what you guys can do to the website, which is the performance optimization. At that time, previously, maybe the performance optimization is kind of optional because the AI is not as the evolution is not as crazy as right now. But since everything can be done by AI, then the company will check what makes you different between you and the AI. Yeah, if you guys can understand about the performance optimization, means that we can also utilize the AI to complete the performance optimization better. And then the other part is about the design system. Design system is kind of still optional. Basically, it's more of the design team scope. But if we want to learn about the design system, it's totally okay for the front end. But for these three, I still highly suggest you guys to understand about these three. But the design system is kind of still optional, in my opinion. Yeah, from my research about the market right now. Because even though I already work at one company, then I'm still research you call guys about the market itself. Yeah, next gen tools, I think it is still too advanced for me for now also. Yeah, maybe what I can say from those three regarding the master the foundation and then the front end development skill and the AI stuff and also the advanced front end concept, this is the more important part right now as the roadmap guidance for you guys before you can land your job or land your CV into a job opportunity. Sorry. After that, yeah, other part can be learned parallelly, because what can I see from the requirement here is already like more strict than before. You guys need to know more things, even though you guys try to apply maybe for a junior role only. It's kind of different between between the old days and right now, ya. Gitu. So this is a simple like roadmap before you guys can understand about or can go into the front end job, ya. Maybe while you guys are completing step by step, if this is my path, yeah, what I learned before when I was at my college before. After I complete the foundation here, which is I already understand about CSS, I already understand about HTML and JavaScript, I try to create a website, like a simple one, like this one. I try to create a website, then I put this as my checkpoint right now, which meant that okay, I already understand about the basic, about the master of the foundation. Then what I need to do after this, then I need to combine it between the JavaScript framework, or maybe I need to combine it between the CSS framework. I improve the previous website that maybe I already created before without using CSS framework and JavaScript framework. But right now, I'm enhanced it. I was enhanced it using the JavaScript framework and CSS framework. Like it is like kind of a checkpoint for me to make sure that maybe I already understand about the things that we need to understand, yeah, about the JavaScript. And then after that, yeah, we can try to utilize this AI stuff, and we can add this. One thing that I highly suggest you guys to do from these three, the most important part is TypeScript. But again, this is not a mandatory one to be a front-end engineer, but it is like adding a very great value for you when you try to submit your CV maybe, or you guys try to get a referral from your friend. If you already know about TypeScript, it is a very great, yeah. Because in my company as well, for now, we are fully using TypeScript. We are not using JavaScript anymore because it is less safe than using TypeScript. Okay, so we are already fully using TypeScript. Okay, then okay, this is the last one before we go to the end of this session, which is I want to share to you guys about this. Is FE only worth it? Basically, it's kind of different between this stuff and the section or the session title, because we want to discuss about front end roadmap. Yeah, I already share to you guys about the roadmap when you guys want to start your things in front end development and land your job also. Is FE only worth it? So this is kind of interesting for me because right now, why I'm taking a full stack things right now, because of this. Yeah, is front end skill enough in 2025? What can I say after I do research and checking from the several website also as the reference? Front end is still in high demand. Yes. If you guys checking the LinkedIn maybe and type front end engineer, the job market is still that high. The demand is still that high. But companies prefer devs who can also handle backend or full stack skill are more valuable. Why? Because because of the AI and because of the economic growth also, maybe in Indonesia, the pattern right now is like since we have a lot of layoff in several companies, and also we have like economic things that maybe up and down. The impact is about this role also and the other role as well, but we will focus on the front end and back end part. Right now, what I see from the market is the number of company that maybe mid-range company that looking for a front end engineer only, it is that small. It decreased a lot. Because of why? Because of their budget. What they are planning to do is like within the same budget, or they add a little bit of our salary as front end engineer, they expect us to do two things, back end and front end, so that they can save their budget, to prevent the layoff or to prevent their the company will be having a their finance is not good. Then the pattern is they will try to find a full stack. So full stack here means like we handle front end and back end. Okay, but here what is the plan that I always do here is that since I'm starting as front end engineer, the back end I'm not really dig deeper. I mean, like I still deep in front end, but on the back end side, it's not like we're really crazy in back end. What we need to do here is like we are still mastering our front end part, but the back end part is the additional things. At least we can handle the server. At least we can also create the API, and then we can handle the deployment. I mean, we don't need to like really crazy about the backend part unless you guys have the time to explore front end and back end together. Maybe you guys having a free time, or if you guys is still in the college. If you guys still in the college, you will have a lot of time, right? But if you already for example, me, I already entered the industry as a front end engineer. I don't have quite long time to learn all the backend stuff from the first again. That's why I'm utilizing JavaScript backend a lot, because JavaScript can also handle front end and backend. On the backend part, I using JavaScript as well. So since it is can creating the server, it also can run the server, and it can create the API. It is handle the the database. Then I think it's quite enough. But what I can say here is like, if you guys have time, or if you guys have the opportunity to also learn about the backend part, it is totally worth it, guys, because front end only, I think the demand is still clear, is still good, is still that high. But if you guys expect the salaries that high, maybe like what is the baseline? Maybe we can take like 10 million. Maybe we can take 10 million as the baseline for front end only. In 2025 is kind of hard. It's kind of hard. It's not as simple as the previous one, where to enter 2-digit salary as a junior, even though you also already front end only or back end only, is still very easy. But right now it's maybe quite hard because of this the market change, the economic also. So if you guys want to get higher income, then we need to also have more knowledge than normal front end or normal back end only, gitu. Because also if I can check from the supporting data, like 27% project expansion right now, the market is already checking like developers need to understand about front end and back end. So if you guys have time before like you guys depressed about the income or the salary, like not only people that try to find a job, even though the people that already have a job as front end or as a back end only, also they still have an issue with the income as well, right? I mean, like what things that we can do right now, we need to enhance our like how we can handle these two things for ourselves. And the impact is you guys not only thinking like, okay, I will find a company that finding a full stack job. Not only like that. So if you can see from my career experience, I'm taking a full stack job. It is outside from ticket, yeah. I'm taking a part-time job as a full stack engineer in Canada. But apart from that, if someone or some people asking me like, can you create this website fully by yourself? Then yeah, I can say yes, because I can create the website from the beginning into the server. The front end, the back end, the API, I can create it by myself. If you have a side project or side hustle, it's a very great income for you as well. Because in IT, yeah, we are very flexible, right? Unless it is not really impacting your work in your main company, that I think I don't have an issue with that. If you still can manage your timeline, if you can still manage your time, your effort, and it is not decreasing your performance in your company, then yeah, we can continue with that. But one thing that I can say here, for example, you have a client or your family or your friends that trying to ask you like, Daffa, can you create a website that maybe selling something, or I want to create a website that maybe similar with Shopee, maybe like an e-commerce website. If for example the budget is maybe like 100 million rupiah, that's the budget to create the whole things, and you guys only understand about the front end. So what you guys will do? You guys can accept the offer, and you guys will find your friends, your other partner also to do the same, to do the things together, and maybe they are experienced in backend or they are experienced in the API or DevOps, and yeah, that 100 million will be divided into 4%. So each of you maybe will get 25 per person. But if you can understand about the whole stuff, you understand about the full stack at least, yeah, the 100 million will be yours only. So that's the game changer right now that I feel, I'm opening my kitchen also ya. Aku buka dapurku juga. I mean like, this is the strategy that I'm using right now to gain more opportunity, more knowledge also. And the same time, if we have more opportunity, we have more branding, we have more knowledge, then I hope that it can be aligned with our income gitu. And this full stack things is a very promising for me for now, and for you guys to learn and to be implemented. Even though you guys will be a front end engineer, or you guys still being a front end engineer in one company, that it's okay to still learn about the backend, so that yeah, you guys can get another income from side project or side hustle gitu. Yeah, I'm also already attaching this. I will share to you guys my presentation after this, alongside with the recording with Net also. Yeah, maybe I will share like this about the medium. So these people is also coming from the front end previously. Sorry, like see if we check here, like here, like here's a front end previously before he learned about the back end. Then he really happy with the front end, but here he itself, I have fallen behind by letting others at my job to handle the server code, persistent hosting, and auth. Like I said earlier, if you guys have something to do, or if you guys have a project from other people, but you guys not understand about the full stack, or at least you guys only understand about the front end, then you guys will let others to handle your job at server code, persistent hosting, and auth. So you guys will lose the opportunity. See, like the front end developers are going to need some new skills gitu. I mean, if you guys want to be a full stack developer, you guys no longer means like we have full 40% in front end, 40% in back end, 20% in DB tooling, infra. DB is database rack and API. No need like that. But since we are coming from the front end previously, yeah, we can use this 60% on the front end, 10% on the back end. Maybe we can use in JavaScript like Node.js, or we are can using like Express.js. It is like a JavaScript framework in backend. And then we can save like 30% on the database tooling and infra. So the backend part will be like 10% only. This is the case if you guys don't have a time to explore more about the backend. But if you guys have time to spend to learn about the backend, then you guys can do these things. So it is like preference, because every people can have different timeline, right? And every people can have different like their busyness. So if you guys have time, like you guys still in the college, like Nat, maybe you guys still have a lot of time to learn. But if you guys have a very limited time to learn, at least you guys can implement these things. Gitu. And here I found a very good website. Maybe you guys can open this after this. Yeah, I don't know why this is very long to to load the content. But yeah, it is a very good website. Like the reason why we need to go to full stack. Yeah, we will wait until it open. But that's the case that I want to share to you guys. This is the reality that we know that we got right now in IT field. Basically, IT is still very demanding. The high demand is still high, the demand. But it is kind of tricky, yeah, because it's not like, because the supply is totally higher also. Like the demand is here, but the supply also higher. So what we need to do right now is we need to make sure like whenever we try to land a job to a company, then we need to make sure to them like what make us different between us and the other people. So what make us unique, gitu. That's how the game play for now, yeah. Because the job is not as much as before, where the supply is still this low, but the demand is still that high. And maybe when I was asking my friend about how is the IT job in 2017 or 2018, then they said that, oh, the demand is really high, and then the supply is very low. So we can play with the salary. We can play with the income, because the company will be scared if not taking us to their company, right? But right now, we cannot do that anymore. I mean, like, even though the baseline salary already getting lower, so we need to find a way how to still increase this number of income, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, this website is very slow. So yeah, maybe we can continue while waiting for that. For the maybe very last part, for the roadmap, if you guys want to research or explore about the full stack part, then yeah, you guys can still using the same website, but this is using full stack page. So maybe it is using the same thing. You guys can understand about the HTML, CSS, JavaScript also, etc. And then you guys start with the Node.js. This is where you guys can go through the backend part, yeah. And we have a database also. We have like other things, and you guys can use this as your baseline whenever you try to go to full stack. Yeah, finally, thank you. This website can be open. So why we go to full stack? This is the last part of my session. Should be done. Other things. So this pro creator, yeah. I personally agree with the reason why we need to go with the full stack. See, the first one is I'm not naive. I mean, like we can create more money and also less cost. This is why the company is hiring more full stack than the front end and back end. For example, like front end need like 10 million, and then back end can also need 10 million for one person. Then why they need to spend like 20 million if they can spend like 15 million for one person only, so they can save 5 million. Yeah, this is from the POV of the company, yeah. More money but less cost. And then faster time to market. Here, like I said, in 2025, if we are having a full stack, then yeah, we will have like we can go to the market faster. We can like selling our experience to the HR better. Yeah, we can end-to-end ownership, so that even though we have a project or something, we can handle all of them from front to backend. Okay, yeah, on top of tech trend, yeah, this is the reason, yeah. Then we need to use this for the full stack part. Yeah, I'll share to you guys. You guys can open this after this session also. And then the last for tips and trick. I think the tips and trick is quite simple. The first one is you guys need to understand English. That's why me and Nat also we consider to use English here at every session. Why? It doesn't mean that we don't love Indonesian. Yeah, we love bahasa, but guys, whenever you try to open a documentation for like React.js, for example, like this, like React.js documentation. So here, for example, you guys opening React.js documentation. Here, none of them are using Indonesian, right? All of them are using English. So with React.js. So here, that's why we try to at least membiasakan lah to use English, so that it also can make you guys feel more comfortable whenever you guys are checking from the documentation, or you guys want to speak about something, or if you guys working on a company that it is like multinational company. For example, like my company for now, Ticket, basically my manager is coming from India. So whenever I try to have a discussion or one-on-one, or we have a meeting with him, then we cannot use Indonesian. We need to use English. That's why we need to make every session is maybe we can start with English, so that itu bisa terbiasa lah kita nanti ke depannya. Then the second one is regarding for the front end itself, yeah. Even though we understand about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, coding, and etc., but don't forget that we need to also have a design sense at least. So that if we have a discussion with the UI UX team, we can understand, and we cannot be like a yes man or yes woman only. That maybe whenever they create this design, with even though the design is very hard, the animation is truly very complex, and we don't have a design sense, meaning that we can accept everything. No, we need to also have a design sense that maybe, okay, this design is good, but we cannot implement this because of the tech stack limitation, because of the device. We wonder that the device will be quite laggy for the low end one, gitu. So we can have a better understanding lah about the design part also, not only from the developer, yeah. Because most of the time I found the developer in the front end that yeah, they don't really understand, they don't really care about the design part, and every time the design team creating their new design, then they just accept it even though the animation is too complex for them, gitu. Then keep the collaboration as well, and don't forget to implement. If you guys just learning from the documentation without doing an implementation, then it will be quite hard for you to remember everything. So the best teacher is if you guys try to implement something that you guys already learned. At least you know that okay, this is how to create this is how to create that, and maybe it can also be your portfolio. That's why I encourage you to use GitHub. So let me share you my GitHub as simple. So if I check my GitHub right now, so inside the GitHub, you can have a lot of things. You can create a repository where every project that you create here, it can be known from other developer also. For example, here I have a Prism extension. So whatever that I coding here, other people or other developer can also see, and the HR can also see, so that it can also boost our value as a developer, gitu. So try to use GitHub, try to use a version control, dan biasakan buat start to use that sih. That's for the tips and trick. And then the last one, don't forget to check the market. Kita harus know about the market itu lagi seperti apa kondisinya. Let's say at this time, React.js is very powerful, then use it. Why? Because it make you easier to go to the market. If you guys learning about other things that maybe not really popular, it's totally okay kok. But maybe the impact is the number of company that using this will be quite less, yeah. If you compare with the one that it is still very popular right now. So being idealist is totally okay. If you guys like really happy with the Vue.js or AngularJS, maybe it's totally okay. But don't forget to catch up with the market, so that it will be easier for us to get a job. Because this is about the job, right? About the front end and other stuff job. So keep with the market, because we need to follow the market right now, gitu. And don't forget to learn new things. Itu aja sih for me. That's all. Maybe for this simple session. Thank you guys for already attend the meeting. So sorry for our inconvenience. Oh iya, aku nggak share screen dari tadi. Aku nggak open mic. Okay, sorry. So sorry for the inconvenience that happens between our Gmeet. Yeah, we will improve this faster and better also on next session. Maybe you guys, if you guys have a question before we close the session, takutnya nanti habis ini lagi. You guys can raise your hand or can ask the question, gitu. Oke, gimana dari Mas Irianto, Kak Kirana, Mas Wahyu, Mas Alif, Kak Fania, is everything all good? Or Nev, maybe you guys have, you also have a question since you just enter your college time, right? If everything runs good, how about it, Nat? Do we need to close the session and we'll share the presentation and recording, or how? Oh, Mas Alif. Ya, boleh Mas. Indonesian boleh, English juga boleh, gak apa-apa Mas.
Ini sekalian sambil belajar bahasa Inggris aja kali ya.
Boleh Mas.
Before you have mentioned about it is important to be full stack nowadays, but what level of backend knowledge would you say a front-end developer to have in nowadays to stay competitive?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mas Ali, for the questions. Pretty good. It's depends on the timeline itself, whether you have time or not to explore many things in backend part, especially. I highly suggest, if you have time to explore about the backend part, you need to use like a proper backend programming language to build like a very robust backend part. For example, like Golang. Golang is a very powerful one in backend, and also Rust is also very powerful. If you have time to explore that, because JavaScript and Golang, because I teach also Golang in DB Bimbing, is the syntax is totally different. That's why the learning curve will be added if you have time to learn. And if you have time to explore, then it's totally okay kok to learn about Golang, because for the investment, for the self-investment, is very good. In the future, it will be very worth it lah, if we know about the proper programming language from the backend part. But if we have a limited time to learn, I don't know, I think if we have a very limited time, just utilize the JavaScript first for now. Because in JavaScript, okay, let me share again my screen a little bit. Just tell me, Annette, if it is like 1 minute or 2 minutes left. Okay, in JavaScript, we have Node.js. Here, Node.js is JavaScript that runs in the server. So with Node.js, we can run the backend inside JavaScript also. So that this is JavaScript. This is the code for JavaScript. This is pretty similar with the front end part, but it is for the server. That's why JavaScript is very powerful in web development. So it can include the front end. It also can handle the backend. With this Node.js, we can also connect to the database. Even we are still using JavaScript. We are not using Golang. We are not using Golang. We are not using other programming language for backend. But we can also already connect with the database. Or we also can create the API. It is already safe with the Node.js. Or if we want to having more power using backend service in JavaScript, we can use Express. So Express is like the framework of Node.js. So it's also built in under the Node.js, but it also includes other functionality. So Express and Node.js is still powerful for now. Oh wait, is it? Oh okay, you guys. Okay, in 15 minutes. Okay. So if we have already talked about Express.js, then we can also about Nest.js. JavaScript is very powerful. We have option if we want to go to the backend part. It is also Nest.js. It is like a JavaScript, but for backend also. So what do I mean here? If you have a time to learn about new things and new structure and new syntax, and you want to understand about new documentation, please read the or learn about the proper backend like Rust and also Golang. Or normally we can check the market also. What market are searching for right now for the backend programming language. But right now, correct me, Aneth, right now like Golang and Rust is a very powerful one, yeah, and also very popular for the backend part. But if we have a limited time, then we can start from the JavaScript, like a Node.js, Express, and also Nest. Why? Because the learning curve will be reduced. Why? Because the basic we're still using JavaScript. We don't need to learn about new syntax. We don't need to learn about like the new documentation. Maybe if we are using Node.js or like Express, yeah, the syntax is a little bit different, but the baseline is still using JavaScript sih, gitu Mas Alif. So it depends on your timeline, yeah. And if you have a very not limited time to learn, yeah, you can start with the Golang, I believe, yeah. Gitu. Is there answering your question, maybe Mas Alif?
Okay, Kak. Thanks a lot, Kak.
Okay, sama-sama. Okay. Is there any other question from you guys? From Kak Irianto, Mas Wahyu, Kak Kirana? Oh, okay. Mas Irianto, boleh. Gimana? Okay, you also ask from the chat, ya. Is it okay to use UI kit like flow by material UI and etc.? Yeah, it's totally okay, but what can I say here is don't make it habit sih, Mas. I mean, if you want to use it, it's totally okay, but at least we know what happened behind the scene, yeah. We know about how to create the styling itself, because normally when user are when the developer are using like a material UI, or they are using like set CN, what they want is they want to simply like import this component and then it can be used like directly, right? But yeah, it also can be good because you want to like reduce the number of your development time. I always using that also. If we have like a very limited number of time to develop something and I want to develop it fast, then I can import it from the other third party. But one thing that I can say here, if you need to understand about the CSS part also. If you already know about the CSS part, you know how to create this, but you don't have time to create this, it is okay. But yeah, just don't make it a habit sih. Karena on interview process especially, you guys cannot use this. You guys cannot import other thing from like third party, because like Flowbyte, Material UI, SetCN, Bootstrap, Tailwind, it is like a third party. We cannot use that during a like interview session. And if you already land into your company, maybe you already get a job and you already come to your company, it is depends on your company whether they are using Material UI, Flowbyte, or etc. If you are using this only for your self project, it is totally okay. But if your company are not using this third party things, then yeah, we cannot use this anyway. Because in my company also, I am not using Tailwind. So I only use Tailwind outside the company if I have like a side project or something. So yeah, you can use that, but not just don't make it a habit sih, Mas Irianto. Gitu maybe. Yeah, yeah. The UI feel generic, right? Because you cannot like modify it. Because yeah, you use their service and they already provide their UI. So yeah, we cannot like simply modify it. Yeah, last time if I use like Bootstrap at that time, yeah, before I know Tailwind, yeah, Bootstrap is a very strict one. They already provide us the button with the type, and we cannot change everything. So yeah, that's the limitation if we are using the third party, something like that sih, Mas Rianto. Gitu. Yeah, hopefully answer ya. Maybe any other things from Mas Wahyu maybe or Kak Kirana? Or if everything is clear enough, then maybe I can get a thumbs up, guys, from you guys. So maybe we can close the session earlier and cannot like getting same issue again in our Google Meet. Okay, thank you Mas Irianto for the thumbs up. Maybe Mas Alif, Kak Kirana, Mas Wahyu. Okay, great. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. How about it right now? Net, can we close the session for now? Oh, okay. Yeah. If you guys have no issue with your internet connection, please help to ini ya guys, to open cam for 1 minute only for the documentation. But if you have issue, then I don't know worries. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mas Alif. Okay. Okay. Okay, mantap. Okay, thank you for the time, guys, tonight to join our session in this weekend ya, and tomorrow will be Monday again. Thank you. Hopefully, all the session can have can produce a new knowledge and can have a better understanding for you guys also for your dream job also as a front end or as a full stack. Since we are open in Discord, maybe Nat will also share about the ini ya, the profile, the link, so that you guys can join us on the Discord if you guys want to discuss about something, or you guys want to ask about something, or you guys want to also suggest something that us can do for our next session. Then yeah, feel free guys. We are really open for all the people. Gitu. That's all maybe for me. Thank you, Nev, also for the opportunity. Thank you guys for the time to join the session. Maybe we can close the session. We can wrap up. I will share the presentation link to Net. Maybe Net will also share it together with the recording link after this. That's all maybe guys. If you guys have any other things to do, you guys can drop me. I also will drop after this. Thank you guys. Good. Selamat apa nih? Selamat malam ya. Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye everyone.